Józefa is a family member that I didn't know about. I know I have a great-grandmother, but I was for many, many years unaware of even her name. And then a few years ago, I found a collection of her letters. And then from that point, I made a decision to understand who Józefa was, why these letters were written.
Бачу, як сходить і заходить сонце. Бачу, як вечоріє, сходить місяць і ладні вечірні зорі. А де ж моя Яночка з ладною усмішкою, що мене так тішила?
And Józefa was 76 years old when she was put onto the train and then sent to Kazakhstan, and she was a mother of 6 children. Józefa was repressed because she was given the classification parents of a traitor. So her son, Aloisi, was in the Polish police force and sent to this remote location in North Kazakhstan at Tubinsk. So she was not in a penal prison gulag where she was doing hard work. She was in a remote settlement having to work and still pay for her rent and buy food. And from this remote location, Józefa would write asking for the main requirements for continued survival, which was food and money. She was only writing to her daughters.
Яночко моя наймиліша, ти мені пишеш, що я гніваюсь на тебе. О, єдина моя дитина, єдиний скарб мій, найдорожча моя коштовність. Ти нас годувала, ти нас одягала, ти нас втішала і найбільше з нас всіх працювала. А від батьків нічого не брала. Я все пам'ятаю. То за що ж мені на тебе гніватись? За твої добрі вчинки? Матір зла на своїх дітей не тримає, а про добро ніколи не забуде. І про добрі вчинки. Я твої солодкі слова забути не можу. Завжди я з тобою. О, Яночко моя.
Perhaps the one letter that summarized the entire story, which there is only the one letter, was the one envelope that was discovered. It has 2 functions. It's an envelope and a letter. Józefa is writing in every available square centimeter. The words are squeezed in on every available bit of space. And this is addressed to her daughter, Maria Bodziak, the BSSR, the Belarus Socialist State Republic, and it is coming from Tubinsk, which is Józefa's address, which she writes in as the sender. So these 2 addresses represent the distances that this letter had to travel, 2,500 kilometers. And from the post stamps, the marks, we have 2 dates. One is dated the 21st of February 1941, and the second date is the 4th of March 1941. Józefa didn't date any letters. So we've had to judge the letters of what we think was the order in which they were written, based on the content and the topics that are being talked about. So the earlier letters, she writes about her return and not to sell anything because she's going to come back and she will need them for when she returns. She was still very much organizing the family. As the letters carry on, the tone changes and she doesn't think that she's going to make it back, and then it becomes a different set of letters of that she's losing hope.
Вандю, якщо забудете про мене, буде мені тяжко. Але зобов'язую тебе, татуся та Пьотричка, моїх наймиліших, і в найбільших муках не забувати. І це моє прохання завжди має лишатися з тобою. А якщо ти зараз його згубиш, то після смерті моєї сумління в тобі пробудеться. Ще раз прошу докласти зусиль, щоб мене до вас повернути. Вандю моя, образ твій закарбований в серці моїм назавжди. Незважаючи на те, що забули мене. З великим болем на серці закінчую свої сердечні слова. Щиро любляча матір.
I would think it's fair to say that those were probably the last letters, the ones in which she is making the strongest claim for help, the strongest cry to her children not to be forgotten.
А що моя Ванда може? Я тебе більше від всіх любила, і добру відплату тепер маю. Гелічка, вона така сирота з малими дітьми. І за помешкання платить, і за опал, і та 2 посилки надіслала, і маю від неї 180 рублів. А ви за помешкання не платите, і дітей годувати не треба, і 500 рублів маєш. І вам байдуже, що матір на чужині, далеко в Сибіру, поміж скелястих і високих гір, і вихорів страшних має погибати без крихти допомоги. Голодна, холодна, а мою Вандю ніц не обходить. Дивно мені, що тобі сумління дає спати, але, мабуть, сни твої страшні. Там і крики, і бурі, і ліси валить, тим виттям пагорби до тебе кричать, жалібно голосять. Рятуй свою матір.
And then the letters stop. The piece of music is titled Józefa's Lament. Lament is a word with a meaning associated with an emotional or crying out response to a situation. The lament is in Józefa's letters and it's in the music, and they are connected by family members. My father composed the piece in his early 20s, 22 years old. There is only one recording that was ever made, and that one recording was made when my father played this composition in the room of his mother's flat in London. In the room present would have been his sister, Zosha, Sophie. 1972. So he would play this composition on his mother's piano, and his mother is Józefa's daughter. He is Józefa's grandson. and Józefa's granddaughter is in the room recording it. And then this recording gets put into a bag and effectively lost and forgotten about for the next 43 years. The letters and the cassette were part of a number of artifacts that were discovered after my father's sister, Auntie Sophie, passed away in 2014, leaving behind what can only be described as a massive, huge amount of stored possessions that she had accumulated over her life. This music and letters, the two were found in the same location, in the same time, and they seem to join and complement each other as almost synonyms of each other. When I started making the research and the history, I realized it's not such a personal story because it's the story of so many people. So the performance is trying to summarize the research and the expressions of this research so far. These are some of the more specific reasons why Józefa was removed from her homeland. And that then is the legacy of how we think about what these effects are when these huge egos are locked in battle for some new world order.